All right. Can we all see? Fantastic. So yes, hi everyone. My name is Zoe Pulley, she, her pronouns, and as mentioned by Kamaria, I am a designer, an artist, and an educator based in Brooklyn that likes to work with quote unquote stuff. So my background, originally in undergrad, I studied fashion design, and I had always been very interested in textiles, flexible mediums, but really thinking about how to use these textile-like materials to, of course, make form, but also thinking about the relationship between like a narrative and a story to the material choices. Um, so an example of this sort of, I guess, articulation is in this piece here, a quilt 4, in which this was a quilt that was homage to the matriarchs on my dad's side of the family who have carried on a quilting tradition for several generations. And with that, I wanted to create this thank you to them that is quite literally made out of plastic thank you bags. Other sort of plays on this method. This is some work that was recently done. Sorry if you can hear sirens. I'm in Brooklyn, like I mentioned, so loud here. But this was some work done during a recent residency with the Studio Museum in Harlem. This was a residency I completed 2023 to 2024, and this work pictured was a series in which I asked 3 family members, my father and his 2 sisters, what is a memory you have with a clothing item that was in your childhood closet? So with that, creating these sort of quilted garments that are supposed to be, again, like an homage or this sort of recollection of their memories built into this one piece. And then another work that's playing on this idea of rememory and then also like interior narratives. This was a piece in which I had conversations with 8 different Black folks, asking them what does moving on up really mean to them. And with that, had some really cool conversations in which it was really speaking to assimilation and the negotiations that a lot of Black folks have made, of course, to be able to move on up, and then the realities in which they're actually facing within those negotiations. So the choice here to highlight quotes from these conversations on typical sort of, dress wear is definitely a nod towards respectability politics and the armor that Black folks might be expected in certain spaces to wear in order to move on up. But then additionally, it was also a nod to the Jeffersons, which, of course, moving on up was the theme song. And within the Jeffersons, they had a dry cleaner or a dry cleaning business. So yeah, that's just like a little glimpse on some of the more bigger textile pieces that I like to play with. But we're all here today for this other project that I started back in 2020 called Black Joy Archive. Pictured here is a riso-print poster that's from volume 3 of the project. Since 2020, there have been 3 iterations or 3 volumes of Black Joy Archive. And I'm just going to walk you guys through the whole process of how we got to the most recent one, number 3, that was released a few days ago. So Black Joy Archive, like I mentioned, started in 2020 and was very much in response to, the continued police murders of Black bodies and Black folks that we see time and time again. But specifically, we all know 2020, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor. And during this period, myself, like a lot of us who were privileged enough to, be isolating, I was in my home and just feeling especially isolated by, not being able to be in community with people while we're looking at these tragic events, or almost being forced to look at these tragic events, like, from our tiny pocket computers and our television screens, and really thinking about, what are the ways and the methods in which Black folks have been able to not only persevere, but also be reminded of their humanity when we are like currently or in that moment, we were just being fed this like very monolithic, traumatic, singular layer experience. So anyways, went on to social media and kind of had this very haphazard story that I posted where I was just like, yo, I'm going to make this zine in which like I'm inviting any Black folks to send me images in which they would like be defining their Black joy, however they want to define it, right? I should say at this time, I was like, quarantining and very much in my zine making mode. So I was doing like a few different projects where I was making like a zine a week. And I was kind of expecting this project to become another one of like, those sort of like quick and dirty pieces. But over the course of 5 weeks, over 60 contributors submitted over 500 images. So it became this much bigger project very, very quickly. And this is just a little video that I'm going to play that is more of me talking, but just explaining a little bit more about volume 1.
So there's 35 copies. For the book itself, it's close to 200 pages, collected over 500 images. So in the book, there's just a small representation of some of the images collected, and then online, it will be accessible for everyone. Probably within the week following George Floyd's death, kind of had this idea to put together images that help Black people process the grief and emotion that they're forced to look at time and time again. The whole action of actually being able to like go through your photos and talk with family members, friends, whomever, just having that interaction and remembering memories that, hey, brought you joy, it's still therapeutic because you're working through your experiences, your family's experiences. It's also just creating the dialogue that makes our lives and our histories feel important in a way that I feel like we don't generally see.
Cool. Always funny to hear yourself talk.
So there's 35.
Oops. So yes, like mentioned in the video, this was a limited press book where there were 35. It was an edition of 35, so 35 copies created. The books were printed in collaboration with Secret Riso Club, which is a risograph / just like media print lab based in Bushwick. They're awesome. If you guys don't know about them, I would definitely check them out. But they actually supported this work 100% in that they actually did all the printing pro bono, which was incredible. And along with that, there was also a website that was created in which all of the contributors' content or contributions, I should say, were archived. So that was 2020. Fast forward to 2022, and Black joy, arguably, at least in my eyes, was becoming this very commodified term. I felt like everywhere, of course, there were a lot of beautiful Black joy archive projects being done by Black individuals that like still like, of course, inspire me to today or to this day. But on the other side of that, you had a lot of corporate entities starting to use Black joy as a tagline to kind of, signal solidarity. And suddenly it felt as if this project that I originally created for Black folks, it seemed as if there were a lot more white folks interested in it at certain points. So it just got a little uncomfy. But with that, I still wanted to create another volume of this because I had so many peers who were reaching out saying, hey, I want to do this. I want to like be part of this archive, right? And it helped me realize, hey, how can we as a community like reclaim or take a little reclaiming in this space. So Black joy, I'm sorry, there's so many sirens going by. Let me know if it's like you guys can't hear me that well and I can, okay, great. I live right down the street from a police station, so here we are. But anyways, so with that, Black Joy Archive Volume 2, the primary prompt here was asking folks, what does your Black joy look like to you now? So really asking people to respond to this, the contemporary moment of 2022, thinking about post-summer of 2020, where arguably, Black Lives Mattering, the whole sentiment becoming more and more apathetic through or by certain audiences. So with that, the second volume had two books, both with the same content, but pretty much the book on the left was a risograph limited edition of 50, printed again with Secret Riso Club. The covers were letterpressed with a local Rhode Island shop called DWRI, also fantastic if any of you guys have ever worked with them. And then the book on the right is actually printed on demand, which if anyone might not know what that is exactly, it pretty much is a service, a printing service that allows you to just like DIY publish and print your books digitally. So I use this service called Mixum, which is great. And pretty much I had these two versions of the book so that there was this sort of like, still in the original vision of Black Joy, you had this risographed piece that was like the limited edition version, and then the printed on demand, I print more copies as orders have come in. Additionally, there was some other collateral. So the posters were actually part of a release party that happened in June of 2022, along with the totes. And there was also a update to the Black Joy Archive website. So this was a really cool project because Black Joy Archive Volume 1, the website was hosted through Squarespace and built on Squarespace, and it did what it needed to do. But Volume 2 was great because I was able to work closely with developer and designer Jesse Hoyes, who built everything custom from scratch. So it was really awesome to be able to have this vision and then, actually be able to see it come to life. I also want to shout out Fran Bueno, who was our content manager. Pretty much she was responsible for transferring all the content from the first website to the second website, and as well as uploading all the new contributors. So like I mentioned slide or two ago, we did have a launch party for this one, which was really awesome because, of course, with Volume 1 being the peak of the pandemic, we were not able to gather as a group. So this was really awesome because we opened this up to the public, and we had some readings and some live performances from contributors from this volume. And the whole event was actually hosted by Ace Hotel Brooklyn, which was great. Yeah, they took care of everything. So it was very awesome. So fast forward to 2025. Black Joy Archive has taken a break, and honestly, I was kind of feeling a little like not burnt out, but a little tired. It's a bigger push every time, or with each volume, it's definitely a big push. And I feel like after each volume, I'm realizing that I have this feeling of, okay, does there need to be another one? Do I need to be part of this conversation any further? I don't want to. I don't want to do the jumping the shark type thing. So I'm like, okay, does this still feel right? And I was having a conversation with a friend, probably a week after the man came into office, and I was just kind of like, he was asking me actually about Black Joy Archive, and I was like, oh, I just don't know if anybody wants to do this. He was like, are you kidding? This is the time where people would want to be in community together. So with that, I was like, yeah, duh, yeah, let's do this, and decided, hey, let's do another open call and see how people would like to respond. And the cool thing with Black Joy Archive 3, looking back, I kind of feel like all 3 iterations have been kind of like a past, present, and future sort of prompt. The first one very much asking people to reflect on what their Black Joy, or how their Black Joy archive, how their Black Joy has been defined by them. The second, kind of like, how are you defining your Black Joy right now? And the third is asking, how will your Black Joy persevere into our future unknown, right? So really thinking about how will these legacies, these traditions, various methodologies continue to be pushed forward, right? It makes me think of like the quilting project that I made for the women on my dad's side of the family, right? Like those legacies, those methods. So with that, another sort of cool full circle moment here is that part of Black Joy Archive Volume 3, we actually began to host workshops in which we were actually inviting Black folks to gather in space and respond to this prompt by way of collage. And these are some images from one of the 3 workshops that we've had so far. Today is our 4th one, which I'm very excited about, and it's our first digital one. So Black Joy Archive Volume 3 was released over the weekend at the Black Zine Fair here in Brooklyn. It features 60 contributors. And yeah, it has some like really incredible writing in it, which is cool. Each issue, I feel like it just, we've like received more and more written work, which is like really, really awesome. Oops. And then, of course, the website. The website itself, or this is the current website, it's just more of a splash page, but the plan is for August of this year, there will be a bigger sort of launch of the website, and there will be a launch party in New York in which hopefully all the contributors and other folks, if any of you guys will love like to join, we would all be able to gather in space again and celebrate. And yeah, here's some images from over the weekend at the Zine Fair, another collage making workshop. And of course, to the right, this is just like the interior pages of the book, which was, yeah, this was my favorite one that, my favorite Black Joy archive to design thus far. It was just it was very fun. So enough talking about, you know, all the pre whatever stuff. Now getting into what we're doing today. So we are going to be creating collages like we all know, but there's going to be a few different parts in which we are going to make something and then share and then get back to making and then share. So I'm just going to like walk through all the parts. And I want you guys to keep in mind that the collage that we're making today is responding to this prompt. How will your Black joy persevere into our future unknown? So how are we making these collages? So each one of us here is actually going to jump into this very presentation space. So just to give like a quick behind the scenes, this presentation is built in Google Slides. Everybody just quickly let me know how comfortable they are using Google Slides. If you can like do an emoji reaction or, you know, just want to shout out like, yeah, cool, thumbs up. Cool. It looks like most of us. And then, yeah, there's just a few folks. Okay, cool, perfect. So yeah, we're gonna all be working from this Google Slides to actually create our work. So with that, I think in the chat, if it hasn't been shared already, there's a link to this slide. And if everyone can just take a moment to join. I'm just doing looking at the mystery bubbles populate. Cool. Looks like most of us are here. If anybody's having issues accessing, if you just want to like comment or just have a little shout out.
Hey Zoe, I just wanna, I don't know if you saw this in the chat, but I see that we have an accessibility need around the
Oh,
flashing for the
oh, yes, yes.
I'm wondering if there's a way to pause that.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, no, sorry. I should have started with that. So apologies. And actually, you guys can watch me work in the slides real time because I'm going to make sure we get rid of all the flashing. Today's agenda. Okay, I think we are here. This one. Background. Cool. Thank you for that. So now that we're all in here, I'm just going to go through from this space now, or this viewpoint. So the first step, and first, like I said, I'm just going to go through all the directions, and then we can do like any sort of questions and then jump in. But now that we're all in here, let's take a deeper dive in today's agenda before getting started. So we will each take 10-ish minutes to introduce ourselves with our name and our pronouns. our favorite color, and one fun fact about yourself using the following "Hello, my name is" slide. So this is your template. If you guys click this link, each person will go to slide number 35 or scroll down to slide number 35. You will see that there's a bunch of these slides that have this "Hello, my name is," and then your name. You can hold on doing this right now, but each one of you guys will claim a page, and this will become your piece of paper that you will be using for your collage. Is that clear? Okay, cool. And then once you claim your space, asking that you will each introduce yourself, again, with your name, pronouns, favorite color, one fun fact. So know that this "Hello, my name is," if you just double click into it, you should be able to add your name and pronouns. And then an example of how you can place in the other answers is with, these text boxes again. So if you want to literally copy and paste the text boxes from any of these slides, feel free to use them. Or if you want to get jazzy and make your own, please get creative. But we're going to take about 5 minutes to fill out this slide, and then we're going to go around and share. So I will be the captain once we hit time, I should say, and then I will just go or click through each person's slide. And when your slide comes up, if you can just jump in and introduce yourself, that'd be great. Oops, sorry. Okay, so after our hellos, you will each be invited to pull from your personal archive to share an item that you feel responds to our prompt. We will take about 5 minutes to pull items and then share with the group. So similar to the last exercise, we will take about 5 minutes. You can find whatever sort of images or items or anything that you feel is pertinent to our prompt to share. And then you can design those however you want on your board. And then we'll take 5 minutes to share as a group. I'll just share mine now. This is a photo that my grandfather, Pop, we call him, but Taylor Hightower Jr. shared with me a few weeks ago. I'm getting married later this summer, so it was very cute that he sent this to me. And yeah, I don't know. In response to the prompt, I feel like it's like loose and abstract, but to me, it's just like another example of how like joy just keeps going on, right? No matter what the circumstance. So after we all share our personal archives, we will then take around 15 minutes to continue the beginnings of our collage, right? So you can each customize your digital collage using any of the provided tools on the, oh, sorry, flashing. Background. So you can use any of the tools on the following slide, as well as bringing in any additional materials you like. So think any additional archival images, memes, or other mementos. And then the toolkit. So this is a place where you can literally grab, copy, paste, bring over to your board, any of these. I know most of us said we're comfortable in slides, but just to give like a quick demo of how you can move or like crop things, if you double click something, you'll see that I actually kind of like place bigger images in here so that you can actually just, find some other stickers that you might like to use. Same deal with these letters if you wanted to spell something out. And I think some of these stickers as well. So if you double click again, you'll also see this bounding box, this black one. This allows you to be able to crop so that you can make something bigger or smaller. And then lastly, this little label. This is like the same label that we've seen throughout the presentation, but feel free to use this or again, get jazzy some other sort of way. Yeah. So without further ado, this is the point where we're just gonna like jump in. Of course, if there's any questions before we jump in or while we're working, please ask me questions as we work. It could be really about anything, even if it's something completely separate from just how to use or create the collage. If it's something that's more technical on how I made this presentation or anything else, I'm happy to share. And yeah, and then I believe someone from the Ujima team is going to be our timekeeper. So thank you for that. Mary, thank you. Cool. So before we get started, are there any questions?
Oh, can we
Ooh,
turn the
flash.
flash off this one too? Yeah.
Yes. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we can start time. And I'm gonna play some music. Yeah.
Tony laughed at us. So let's. Yo, when I was monumental, I was tatted up and bad as fuck and dreaming of scenarios, but serotonin laughed at us. Psilocybin with the hybrid, baby couldn't pass it up. Coochie cutters in the concert with the lights on. Maybe y'all play the right song and tell you my secret. I used to swim in a dungeon where Moses pled her allegiance. Harriet and happiness, I hibernate the masochist. Every slave in a slave town ready to bleed God. Married a treetop for money and new crib. Yo, daddy just lost his petty capitalism. Niggas broke for a living but pray for riches and death. Niggas under distress, niggas supposed to finesse. I'm on the moon, I cry balloons. They black and blue tonight. And if the homie in the back, then tell him to hit me. Homie in the back, then tell him to hit me back tonight. I'm on the moon, I cry balloons. They black and blue tonight. And if the homie in the back, then tell him to hit me. Homie in the back, then tell him to hit me back tonight. A land before land, monasteries and Narcan, casual white fans who invented the voyeur. Fascinated one morning, they hope the trauma destroyer. Why everybody love a good sad song, a dark album like tell me that your homie dead, your mama dead, your brother bled along the street, the corner where the Walgreens and White Castle is. Ooh, yeah, we know that you miss him. And if you sing about his sister, then we buying a ticket for real. Front row center, still gratitude, she love him. But she can't tell if it's genuine or just consumption. Analyze the gumption, monopolize the landscape. She's just another artist selling trauma to her fan base. I'm on the moon, I cry balloons. They black and blue tonight. And if the homie in the back, then tell him to hit me. Homie in the back.
All right, how we doing? If you're good to go, just give a thumbs up.
We waiting under the dark moon. Where you at and where you go.
Cool. Yeah, looks like most of us are all here. Give it another few seconds and then we can get started. Great. All right. Lily, if you want to start us off. And if you rather not speak, that's okay too. If you just want to mention that in the chat, I can share for you.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. I was still messing with the the thing, but hi, I'm Lily. My name is Lily. I use she, they pronouns. My favorite color is actually like any shade of earth tone. And I was still typing it, but my fun fact is that I did research one summer and I turned it into a zine instead of writing a paper.
Nice. Oh, cool. Wait, that music was fun wherever that came from.
Yeah, that was the timer I had put up.
Nice. I was like, oh, so I thought that was Lily's part of the ending. Cool. Thanks, Lily. And I'm curious about the zine too, but we can come back to that. I've been noted that we're running out of time, so we're just gonna keep things moving right now. All right, Hakeem. Oh, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if it's just me.
Hakeem, maybe if you yelled, it sounds really soft.
Oh, yeah.
There might be something blocking the mic.
Yeah, my name is Hakeem.
Yes,
And my
excellent.
favorite color is green. And yeah, I'm working towards my first scene. I think it's just going to be a book of poems and photography. So yeah.
Cool. Nice to meet you. All right.
Hi, sorry, I forgot my pronouns here. My name is Tracy, she, her. Now I'm typing it wrong. Favorite color is pink, and fun fact, I saw Joe Biden on the Amtrak yesterday coming from New
Whoa.
York to to Maryland. He got off in in Delaware. That was so
Wait,
random. I was not expecting a former
that's
president to
literally
be like
that's like out of a
traveling on the
TV
train.
show.
Yeah, I felt like I was in an episode of Scandal.
Slash, it's like all the Biden cliches all happening at once, like on
Right.
Amtrak,
Yeah.
Delaware. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Rose J. Percy. My favorite color is turquoise, and I wasn't sure what my fun fact was going to be, but I'm just going to go with I stayed at Wyclef's mom's house one time. So if you know who Wyclef is, big deal for Haitians. But I'm Haitian, so somehow, some way we were connected. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like I went quickly over my slide, but my fun fact was I went to high school with Lauren Hill, who you know, Wyclef. So yes. And I'm like, I didn't go to high school with her, but she went to the same high school as me. I'm not as old as her, but yeah. Nice to meet you.
It's me? Arifa.
Yes.
Hi, sorry. Hi, I'm Arifa. I use she and they pronouns. I actually mispronounced myself. Um, my favorite color is sage green, and a fun fact is that I'm a henna artist, and I will pass it on. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Maria.
Cool. Oh, I'm sorry. It's me. Maria, they, them pronouns. Favorite color. It's really hard. So I said lime green and moss for now. Moss green. I'm in the greens. Fun fact, doodling is my favorite creative practice. That didn't sound fun enough listening to everybody else's. So I threw in that me and my friend, or not a friend, a random stranger ran into Malik Yoba at like a house party. I don't know if anyone knows who that is. I'm like totally aging myself right now, but we were the only two people who knew who he was, and we just like silently screamed in the hallway together. We went outside and we're like,
I can't lie, I don't know who Malik Yoba is.
okay.
I gotta Google later.
I'm gonna put him in my collage so you'll know.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. All right, Sienna.
Hey y'all, I'm Sienna. I use she, her pronouns, and my favorite color, I don't know. I love black, brown, blue, kind of feeling the rainbow. And I guess a fun fact is I have the same birthday as my mom and great grandmother, so kind of freaky, but Virgo's aligned. I don't know. Yeah.
Wait,
But I'm
that's so cool.
oh, thanks. So yeah, it's kind of weird though, but I'm happy to be here with y'all. I'm excited.
Thank you for being here.
Hey,
All right.
can y'all hear me? Yeah, okay, great. Hi, I'm Jahan, she, her. My favorite color is green. And fun fact, I'm from Florida, which, have mixed feelings about these days, but it's my home. So nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you too. I like your orange sticker next to Florida. Sasha.
Hi, I'm Sasha Charlemagne. I use she, they pronouns. My favorite color, mustard yellow. I don't know why I struggled to find like the correct shade of mustard yellow that I needed, but that's close enough. And my fun fact, my master's thesis was on Black women in independent publishing and zine culture. I was a media studies nerd. I am a media studies nerd. And yet somehow I've still never made a zine of my own. I'm just a zine theory nerd.
I love that. All right, this is an empty one. Mary.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mary. I'm one of the community engagement managers at Ujima. I love green. I'm so happy so many of y'all also see the beauty of green. And I used to DJ in college. I do not DJ anymore. I have a job that, sorry, that's not crazy, but like I like I feel like DJing is like was my side hustle. Now I have to focus on this job. So it's a pleasure to be here with y'all for my job. I'm gonna go next, please.
I think honestly, maybe you should be DJing the rest of the the workshop then. Yusuf.
Hey, yeah, Yusuf, I just did mine. I was uh he him pronoun. So the favorite color depends on the season. During the wintertime, I'm more of a dark color guy, and then during the springtime, I like beige color. And then summertime, usually I mostly wear white because it's hot. So so yeah, it's just I just switch it up by the season. Fun fact about me, I make Afrobeat music. And I'm actually at my first a show that I'm doing on May 31st. So that's pretty cool.
Nice, very cool. All right, Mary, Yusuf, where's the collage? Or the collage, the collab.
Oh, the collab.
All right. And wait, Willow, I think yours is missing, or did I skip it by accident?
You skipped it. I think there's some
Oh no.
at the top that you missed.
Okay.
If you go to 38,
Ah,
it's underneath.
okay. Great. Okay, we'll come back to Amari.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
ready. Sorry.
Oh,
okay. You want to go? Go ahead.
Um, Hi guys. My name is Omari. My pronouns are he, they. My favorite colors are either between red and teal. And fun fact about me is I'm a painter. But it's not just it goes outside of painting too, but that's what I love to do the most out of all art. And yeah.
cool. Nice to meet you. And then last but not least.
Hi everyone, I'm Willow. I use they, them pronouns. My favorite color is pink. And fun fact, I maintain a creative practice by making a zine a day. But I have ADHD, so that's like every other day. Probably not all 7 days of the week, but definitely like 5 of them at least. Yeah.
Impressive endurance. I'm sure you are well aware of Neto Bomani's project of a zine a day. I think it was for a year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Oh my gosh, that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely
I'll have
check it
to check
out.
that out.
At least it used to be on their website. I'm not sure if it still is, but definitely cool. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so just to go back up to next step. So pretty much in the interest of time, thinking that we will forego the part where we're going to pull our personal archives and share, and instead just jump into collaging. But Ujima team, what do we think? Do you think we should just like jump into that? Yeah, great. So with that, still encouraging that everybody pulls from their personal sort of archive and incorporates it into their collage in some sort of way. I see many of us already started playing with the toolkit, so keep going at it. And we can spend like, let's say like the next, are we cool with like 10 minutes? Because I really would love time for us to like really be able to share the work that we made and have time to do that. So until about 8:15, and then we can start sharing like we just did. Okay, I'm gonna keep playing music. Yeah. Oops, sorry, flashing again. All right. Let's share. Cool. So I lost my screen. I'll start. I'll be brief. I have like a little update to my original collage. So what I included here on top of the images of my grandfather, again, this is my grandfather, Taylor Hightower Jr. at a wedding. He's at his uncle's wedding, circa 1945-ish. But yeah, included this quote from Giada Scoladeria. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name very incorrectly. But it's from a book of short stories. And the quote is, like Deanna Lawson's nation, everything has value, even Black materiality, even gold teeth, even spaces that resist authority, even the ceiling or the corner of a bedroom, even the grief scalp. Yeah. All right. Move over to Omari.
All right. So I did not get to upload all my images because Google Sites was giving me a hard time. But in general, my concept was kind of like it was kind of specific, but I was thinking of like cookouts or spaces that are made for Black people to just uh have some unity and community together. That was kind of where I was going towards on how to like preserve Black joy. I don't know how else to elaborate, but yeah.
No, that's perfect. Willow.
My Black joy will persevere into our future unknown through my archiving practice and my commitment to live authentically. I am a trans person and a late bloomer, and someone that I'm incredibly inspired by is Polly Murray, whose queerness is kind of being restored, I'll say, like in our public awareness now. They didn't necessarily live out in the professional realm while they were alive. However, there's so much literal evidence that they've left behind through their archive and through their journals about their queerness and in relation to their gender specifically. And so, yeah, they move me a lot and I'm super grateful for them.
Awesome. Yeah, Polly Murray is like amazing. Thanks for sharing.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I did a few things here. So I'm a writer and I'm trying to really dedicate myself to becoming like a writer as a career, which is really hard. Mostly I write about being an endometriosis survivor and like being disabled and being Black is sometimes feels like double whammy, like you're getting beat up from two different places. But I am like grounding myself in the fact that like we were always here, like that Black disabled people have been like sewn in through our legacies and just reclaiming that space. I like have the bottom picture, the purple one is an aura photo I got taken last year. And it was a really amazing experience because it was said that I am a creative and that I am like a world builder, and that has given me confidence to go ahead and do those things, including art. So yeah.
Beautiful. And did you make these "If God Has Changed, Then Disabled People Are Oracles"?
No, I actually didn't, but I can link the person's Instagram. I was gonna credit them.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I was gonna say, wow, you made that so quickly. But yeah, that would be amazing if you could link it for sure. Thank you. Hakeem.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't really have a lot of specific direction, but mostly just looking at some of the recent photos I've been taking, and I feel like, yeah, I've just been really kind of enamored by like both the sea and the sky and kind of the duality of those things. I think specifically like I wanted to be in water more and just kind of I guess a return to the natural world in that sense,
Mhm.
and like drawing creativity and like perspective from those avenues. And then a couple of other photos that kind of just like think and like talk about like journeys and like lineage. Like the one on the top right is a photo that I found of my father when he was like at the University of Ibadan in Nigeria when I last went a couple years back. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking about like water and like the sky as like cyclings, and like all the different like transformations they're constantly going through. And I guess that is just things that have been top of mind for me.
Cool. Yeah, are any of these photos in the zine that you're working towards right now, or?
Yeah, I think the ones like most three at the bottom. So the one on the bottom right, center bottom, and then left bottom. I think I specifically have just been really interested in that one with the fish door. I think it's just my favorite photo right now. But yeah, I think it's just like about portals and like water as like kind of sites of transformation.
Cool. Definitely. I will, I guess, plug. Do you know Arena? It's this website for like a image research based, I don't even know, portal type website. I can drop it in the chat. But I want to say annually, um, do a sort of like publication in which they're asking community members to respond to what their theme is. And this year it's pools and thinking about portals, specifically. And it's writing as well as I believe like image-based work. Correct me though if I'm wrong, but it might be worth checking out, and it could be a nice way to, since you're already working on your zine, a nice way to like have a sort of like I guess deadline in a way to get yourself going. So yeah, and Arena's just super cool if you haven't used it before. It's kind of like Pinterest except for like uh uh yeah, theory type nerds and stuff. Like, you have lots of images and then lots of great like writing and research on there as well.
Yeah, that
Um
sounds super cool. I totally would be interested.
yeah, cool. Thank you for sharing. Tracy.
Oh, that's me. Um, so yeah, I feel like my future of Black joy is going to be through play always. I went to Carnival in Trinidad in March. I try to go every 5 years. Um, but to me, it's like the ultimate example of just everything I love about being Black. Play. It also has a very subversive history because enslaved Africans were prohibited from participating in sort of these masquerade balls in the 18th century. And in response, they created their own celebrations. And that's the history of Carnival in Trinidad. And I just, it's just amazing. It's so fun. It's a celebration of body. And I feel like it connects me to heritage, to the past, to the future. And it was particularly healing to go, late February, early March, when like just all kind of foolishness was unfolding with Trump and the administration. And here I was in this place with like tens of thousands of Black people who were not thinking about that. We were thinking about something else that was our business. Um, so yeah, I always remember to play in the Black way. There's always going to be freedom for me in that.
I love that. Yeah, that was beautiful. And this visual is so cool. I love this like diptych taped moment. Yeah, it's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm paying attention to time. Is everyone okay if we ran over like 5 minutes? I'm sorry, just so everyone can share. Okay, my bad. I teach and I always run over, so I'm like the worst. But okay, Ruth.
So, kind of just reached for some things that are always inspiring to me. The escape button photo, I actually found that one today on Pinterest, and I used it for something I shared on my Substack about how, like, speaking of portals, social media is a portal you can't sometimes find your way out of and back into the real world. And so I've been asking the question of like, where are our escape buttons and like, how can we create them? And when I think about what it means to, like, for my Black joy to persevere, I think of Lucille Clifton, who said, "Won't you celebrate with me what I have shaped into a kind of life?" And so she's in there. Octavia Butler, the idea of God as change and embracing change and like the need to adapt constantly. And I love rap and I love plants. So I think I definitely see those things as helping me persevere as well. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
I love this is so good. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, so my first photo is of my Chihuahua because he brings me so much joy. Like just looking at him makes me really happy. And I'm really grateful to have him in my life as a companion, especially as like a spoonie, someone who spends a lot of time at home and resting. He's always by my side and yeah, he's great. And then I have some plants. I think like I'm learning to garden and I'm studying herbalism, and those are really important practices. They're also like ancestral practices I'm bringing into my life, and I hope to like pass on and have that continue. This is a jar of Florida water that I made today. And like the ritualistic practice of like making plant medicine and things like that just brings me a lot of joy. Even just like looking at it, it just makes me really happy. Um, this picture is me and like a portion of my siblings. I feel like siblinghood in the Black experience is just really special. Like they were my first friends, the people I like learned about the world with. And yeah, and then I also have a picture of henna, which is which I feel like a lot of people don't know, like an Afro-diasporic practice that I am reclaiming and wish to share more in the world in the future. And that is all. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. The picture of the Florida water is so beautiful. Slash, how many siblings do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
In total, I have 33 siblings.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wait, that's amazing. Okay, so family reunions are like truly a party. Nice. Thank you.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
I am so excited about this. Zoe, can we keep working on it? Because I just need to I need to like go into a hole with this and yeah. Um, but so one of my favorite things to do with my friends is to like imagine us as kids playing together. And sometimes I feel like so some of these folks are my friends. One of these people is me in the onesie. And another up in the right-hand corner is like this child. I went to some like award thing. My partner came, and this child was like obsessed with my partner. I think you can see them like look like gazing up at my partner. But there was also this like funny like resemblance echo of like mischief. Like they both had this Bashi was like, they kind of remind me of like myself when I was like 6 or so. And so I was just like, oh my, this child did not want to look at anybody else. It was so cute. I loved it. So that's them playing and finding each other. And I think that's something that connects me like past, present, and future is like there are gonna be like queer best friends in the future finding each other and like thinking of our childhood memory, like remembering ourselves with each other. And in some ways, that's why I love one of these altars that I made with my collective that like a lot of people don't really lift up. I don't know why, like this is one of my favorite ones. But mostly it's because underneath the grand piano is the altar. So I would like lay down next to it and like look up. And so you could like be kind of inside it more than some of the other public altars that we made. But this one in particular is for Black queer dance floors, and one of them, and that's why there's like you can kind of see there's like a disco ball in the piano, but this is also specifically for like a Black queer gay club in Boston called Elites that was open for like 2 or 3 years in Nubian Square. And so one of the elders that we were making this collective project with was just talking about how she found her life on the dance floor and just bodies and sweat and like dance and just like touch was like a new like life-giving thing, finding like Black queer folks. And so yeah, I think about the places where we meet, where we touch, where we like joyfully get to be with each other, and the reverb that gets sent through time. And also nature is fucking wild. I just think it's just every time I'm like on a beach and I see this like weird alien, I'm like, oh my God, life is amazing. So I just think there's just, and also this is Florida. This is in Miami. Miami is a gorgeous place. And yeah, whenever I find myself in awe in nature, I feel like a lot of joy. And yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Thank you. That was like, yeah, it was very nice to hear you like walk through each one of these as well. Yeah, and this picture of the little girl looking at your partner, and then the picture of you, it feels like she's also looking at you the way you have it set up. But nice, beautiful. Thank you. Sienna.
Oh, wow. I'm all over the place, but I was thinking a lot about family and chosen family, like learning how to lean more into who your web is and leaning into each other to support each other. I was thinking about Smith, my last name and my family's name, and thinking about the kind of migration of that name and thinking about how we lean into each other, but it's also super dysfunctional, and how family, chosen or not, is an entanglement, and being responsible and accountable to each other is a process. And it made me think about webs, like weaving. I'm a weaver and a teacher, and I work with the jacquard loom a lot, and it's a tool that clothed my ancestors in Louisiana, and thinking about reclaiming that space for Black grief and agency, and using that tool as a way of moving through that pain and renewal. So I just wanted to share like bits and pieces from family, but also my artistic practice a little bit. But this is such an amazing space. Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, wait, that's amazing. One, that the jacquard is something that is like, or just weaving is a practice that's been continued in your family, / that you have access to a jacquard loom casually is very cool.
Listen, let me know, because I can plug y'all in, because I teach at a school that has it. So let me know.
Amazing. Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, these are some beautiful images. Thank you. All right. Sorry, my computer screen is a little blocked. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, for my collage, I've been thinking a lot about how to center Black joy during a time where I feel like the weight of the world, and I'm always asking, like, am I doing enough? Like, am I helping enough? Like, it's hard to focus on like the things that bring you joy, yeah, when there's so much wrong in the world. But you know, thinking of my ancestors and like, well, you know, they were finding joy through incredibly hard times anyway. And my interests and hobbies and things that bring me joy are not frivolous. In fact, they're more important than ever. So I'm thinking about like, there's nothing that brings me more joy than stopping around town with my friends. Like in this picture, I really love tabletop role-playing games, which is a opportunity for like my, you know, my queer homies of color to like imagine different worlds and outcomes for ourselves. And it's like a very therapeutic experience, or it can be, that's a possibility. You know, making food, there's still comfort in like a homemade meal and learning new things. Like I'm learning how to play the drums right now. So, you know, life doesn't stop, joy doesn't end just because, you know, the rest of the world is on fire. Like I think, I forget who said it, but yeah, that's what's Black folks' business, you know, there's a lot of white folks' business going on, but you know, that doesn't mean we stop what we do. I cede the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. All of that. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I also love the part that you mentioned about role-playing games being like a space for possibility. I think that that's so cool. Thank you. All right. And I believe, oh no. Oh, just kidding. We have two more. Okay. Sasha.
Hello, hello. I put that image of myself as a kid in the center, overwhelmingly 90s photo, in the middle there, because in the background to the right, there's a small picture of my grandma and all of her girlfriends on a cruise ship having cocktails in very sparkly dresses together. And I think subconsciously, all those images, because my grandma had a ton of them around the house, really influenced how I want to see or imagine my future or how I feel about hope. And to me, it's images of Black femme possibility. And sometimes that just looks like cocktails with the girls. And I've sort of put that in a lot of the spaces for myself. On the bottom left there, there is a photo of myself and my best friend. And in the background, there's a painting of sorority sisters. My best friend and I are sorority sisters. It's a painting of sorority sisters around a table, just sort of holding hands together. And that's the sort of imagery that I like to keep around my house. All the way over to the right is all the images on a section of my living room wall, which are again images of Black women around tables. They're smoking cigarettes. They have their feet up on the table. They have cocktails together. Just sort of these images of Black femme camaraderie and community and friendship and sisterhood that feel important to me. And then up top on both sides, the left and right, these are both things that I've created recently. Up top on the left with those buttons and the quilt and that image of Cheryl Dunn. Um, that is a collage. I've been making a ton of these collages lately of just items and stuff that I feel were influential to creating myself and creating my own images of Black femme possibility, and all of the options that I feel are ahead of me. And then on the top right, with that pink dress in the middle, I was the curator of an exhibition at Howard University recently, that celebrated our 100 years of Howard homecoming. And I decided to focus a lot on like physical stuff. So we have that pink dress from an AKA probate show that happened during one of the homecomings in the 70s. And that felt really important and special for me to have. And these sort of frilly dress objects and images of women wearing their sashes and corsages for the homecoming dances and winning homecoming queen. Yeah, I've just been really interested in little girlish items and images of women having fun together and building community and sharing sisterhood, that I think are in some ways tied back to that image in the center of my grandma and all of her girlfriends, because I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And yeah.
Yeah, wow, amazing. You literally did a whole full circle piece here. Yeah, the anchoring of this image here is incredible. I love the story, and then the way that all the pieces here brought us back to this. Really cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Or
Mary?
I'll be quick. I'm the oldest, I'm the big sister. So for me, I feel the most joyous around my siblings. Just thinking about inner joy, feeling that their energy, that's just like, and they're the future for me. So I'm just really whatever they want, I got them. And then I think about my family, that is my friends, some of my coworkers, Alula, somebody who I call my brother, who's in this image down here. But also just thinking about that chosen family too, that I get to be in joy and in community with, that I really appreciate. Thank y'all.
Thank you for sharing. Yes. Reef in the chat said the cutest, but literally that's so cute. All right. And I can find my mouse. Last but not least, Yusuf.
Yeah, I'll be quick as well. So I'm just thinking about artistry, self-love, nature. I was trying to find some pictures, but I was like, I'm just write it down. Nature, I love nature, black love, family as well. Big into family. I'm also the oldest, and yeah, self-love as well for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what these pictures kind of represent in a way. So yeah,
Amazing. Thank you.
thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. And thank you everybody for hanging tight for an extra 13 minutes. Really appreciate it. It was really nice to give everybody space to share. And yeah, thank you all for joining. Like we mentioned at some point, I think Amaria, you were like, oh, can we keep working in this? Like, yes, the hope is that everybody can keep coming back to this space. Like this is a shared space, so feel free to keep popping around this presentation, play with your images. I hope that you guys will keep designing and making things. And yeah, and just to close, like hit me up whenever. I'm always happy to chat. If you have any questions about anything or, just want to chat some more. Yeah, hit me up. I'll drop it in the chat, but my email as well as my Instagram. And that's Pulley. But yes, yeah, thank you everybody. Round of applause to everybody. Yeah,
Round
and
of
I hope
applause for you. Thank you, Zoe.